Neck, New Jersey. If you're watching us on live stream this morning, I welcome you to our service. If you have a copy of our Siddur, Mishkan Tefillah, at home, now is the time to bring the Siddur to your screen or to your device so that you can follow along with each and every page and prayer and song in our service today. And if you're watching on live stream, I hope you'll take a moment to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. It can be something as simple as your name or your location or Shabbat Shalom. But as soon as you post something, others see that you are there, and we form bonds of virtual community in this way. Shabbat Shalom to our temple members here in the sanctuary this morning. You know where to find your copy of Mishkan Tefillah. It's right in front of your seat. And we can go straight now to our opening song. So now that we've begun our service and been welcomed into the sanctuary, I invite you to turn to page 188 in Mishkan Tefillah, page 188, as Cantor Tom leads us in singing Hine Matov.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
We turn on page 194, where we find the blessing for thanking God for the human body. We read together, "Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar, umafli la'asot." We turn now to page 197, where we find an interpretation of the blessing that thanks God for the soul. "Matter is never destroyed, only transformed. So too can the soul evolve higher and higher, from instinct to inspiration, haughtiness to holiness, selfishness to service, from individualism to union, to join with the soul of souls, the infinite one. As the soul is magnified and sanctified, so is the infinite one exalted. Baruch atah Adonai asher biado nefesh kol chai veruach kol basar ish." We turn to page 198 and we join together in the Nisim B'chol Yom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechavivina le'avchin ben yom uvein laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokev kifufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, anotein layaif koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheina meinai unuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani bat chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Oter Yisrael b'tifara.
We turn to page 204 and we offer the blessing for the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. We turn back one page now in the Siddur to page 203. This is a reading by the French philosopher and playwright Edmund Flegg. Our confirmand Emma Foyer led the congregation in this as an affirmation on Thursday evening on Erev Shavuot, and I find it very meaningful. So as our study text today, I invite you to read with me on page 203. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel demands no abdication of my mind. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel requires all the devotion of my heart. I am a Jew because in every place where suffering weeps, the Jew weeps. I am a Jew because at every time when despair cries out, the Jew hopes. I am a Jew because the word of Israel is the oldest and the newest. I am a Jew because Israel's promise is the universal promise. I am a Jew because for Israel the world is not completed, we are completing it. I am a Jew because for Israel humanity is not created, we are creating it. I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above the nations and above Israel itself. I am a Jew because above humanity, image of the divine unity, Israel places the unity which is divine. We turn now to page 215, where we find Ashrei, an acrostic psalm that we chant responsively. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha od yehalelucha selah.
Ashreiham shekachalo, Ashreiham shadonai Eloha.
Tehillah leDavid, aromimcha Elohai hamelech, bavarcha shimcha leolam va'ed.
B'chol yom avarcheka, v'halala shimcha leolam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai u'mehula me'od, v'ligdulato ein cheker.
Dur l'dur yishabach ma'asecha, u'gvuratecha yagidu.
Hadar kavod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha.
V'zuz noratecha yomeru, u'gdulatcha saprena.
Zecher rav tuvcha yabi'u, v'tzidkatcha yiranenu.
Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim u'gdol chesed.
Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yifarchucha.
Kevod malchutcha yomeru, u'gvratecha yidaberu.
Leodia livnei Adam gvurotav, u'chvod adar malchuto.
Malchutcha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador.
Somech Adonai lechol anoflim, v'zokef lechol akfufim.
Ein echol elecha yisaberu, v'ata noten lehem et ochlam be'ito.
Poteach et yadecha, u'maspiach lechol chai ratzon.
Tzadik Adonai b'chol deracha, v'chasid b'chol ma'asav.
Karov Adonai lechol korav, lechol asher yikra'u ve'emet.
Ritzon Yereav Ya'aseh, v'et Shavatam Yishma v'yoshiyem.
Shomer Adonai et kol oavav, ve'kol hashayim yashmid.
Tilat Adonai daber pi, v'varech kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed.
Va'anachnu nivarech ya, me'ata ve'ad olam, hallelujah.
We turn now to page 223. Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu, you shall always be praised, great and holy God, our sovereign in heaven and on earth. Songs of praise and psalms of adoration become you, acknowledging your might and your dominion. Yours are strength and sovereignty, sanctity, grandeur, and glory always. We offer our devotion, open our hearts in acclamation. Baruch atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol Batishbachot, El HaHodaot Adon HaNiflaot, Habocher B'Shirei Zimra, Melech El Chei HaOlamim. Praised are you, sovereign of wonders, crowned in adoration, delighting in song, eternal majesty.
Yitgada v'yitgada shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'amad yifrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayeichanu v'yomeichanu v'chayei T'chol Beit Yisrael Bagala uvizman kariv v'yimiru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olam elamaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitoma v'yitnosei v'yitadar v'yitoleh v'yitolal Shemei d'Kudisha v'richu Leila min kol bechata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran me'alma v'imiru Amen.
Please rise if you are able for the Baruch Hu, page 226.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, Oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha brachamim, Uftuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam b'chokhma asita, Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, Al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, Ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha sela. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, V'niskei chulanu meheira le'oro, Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'orot. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha ve'ayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha ve'ayu letotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher otzeit yetchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We turn now to page 239. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Ya la la la, ya la ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, la la. say, fele, yalalai, yallai, yalalai, 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 Shira Chadasha Shipchu Geulim L'Shimecha Al Sfat Hayam Yachad Kulam Hadu Ve'im Lichu Ve'amiru Yalalai 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 Adonai Yimloch Leolam Vaed Adonai Yimloch Leolam Vaed Adonai Yimloch Leolam Vaed Leolam Vaed Yalalai 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 Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Uvadeichenu mecha, Yuda v'Yisrael, Galenu Adonai tzvot shema, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
We continue on page 242 of the tefillah. Please rise if you're able for the tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Gadol Hagibor v'Nara, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim, Tovim v'Konei Akol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Maybe Gulal even Evenehem, Leman Shema Be'ava, Melech Ozer, U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Kol Atarav Le'Oshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Yaakov Berachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim Berofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umikayem Emunata, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanata Lachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Akol.
Nikadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Kishem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad nevi'echa v'karazeh el zeh ve'amar.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvot, Melech haaretz kivado.
Adir adirenu Adonai Adonenu ma'adir shimcha b'chol haaretz.
Baruch kivod Adonai mi bekomo.
Echad hu Eloheinu hu Avinu hu Malkeinu hu Moshienu. V'hu yashmeinu brachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Yimelech Adonai le'olam. לדור ודור נגיד God lecha. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד God lecha. ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש. תשיבך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד God lecha. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד God lecha. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We turn at this time to page 250, and to honor Shabbat, we join together in the middle of the page in singing Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam brit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash.
We turn to page 253. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free from the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. We turn to page 258, where we find a prayer for peace. We join together. Grant peace, goodness, and blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people Israel. Bless us, our Creator, all of us together, through the light of your presence. Truly, through the light of your presence, Adonai, our God, you gave us a Torah of life, the love of kindness, justice, and blessing, mercy, life, and peace. May you see fit to bless your people Israel at all times, at every hour, with your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael, ba'shalom. We take a moment now for Tefillat Halev. We turn to pages 260 and 261 for inspirational readings during this moment of silence.
sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova, uveracha. Oh, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova, uveracha. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la, ay la la, oh ya la la la, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova, uveracha.
We turn now to page 363, where we find our Torah service Seder Kriyat HaTorah. Happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. For its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies, no treasure can match it. We continue in the middle of the next page. Please rise if you are able for the Torah service.
Susherim Rashichem Useu Pitrei Olam Yava Melech HaKavod Mi V'ze Melech HaKavod Adonai Tzvaot U'Melech HaKavod
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema, Galul Adonai Iti, Unirame Shema Yachdav, Lecha Adonai HaGedula, HaGivura, HaTiferet, HaNetzach, HaAd, Ki chor b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki chor b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha Adonai HaMamlech, Yamit Naseh, Lecha Lerosh. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Alam, Alam, Amen. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Alam, Alam, Omed.
Al Torah ve'al ha'avodah
ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al Torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim.
Please be seated. Well, today kind of falls as a quirk on the calendar. I'll explain why. Not because I like quirks, but I do like the calendar.
You?
It's true. Is that a surprise to anyone? Well, our conservative and Orthodox brethren and sistren on this day are observing the second day of Shavuot. And there is a special Torah reading and a special Haftarah reading for the second day of Shavuot. But we Reform Jews, lining up with our brethren and sistren of all stripes in the land of Israel, observe only one day of the festival. And so for us, Shavuot was yesterday and yesterday only, which leaves a question: what Torah portion are we supposed to read today? And there's no answer that fits very nicely into the flow of the calendar. So the answer that the Reform movement has come up with is that basically this week will be a preview of next week. And we all agree that next week's Torah portion is Parashat Naso, so why not give ourselves a little foretaste of next week's portion by also reading from Parashat Naso this week. And so that is not technically the weekly portion, because the weekly portion falls into a gray area, but it's our portion. So, and it's nice because our bar mitzvah boy next week is preparing a portion from the very beginning of Parashat Naso. And so in an effort to use this as an opportunity and not to step on his toes, I'm reading something from much later in Parashat Naso, which in this case is the Birkat Kohanim, or the priestly benediction. And that section is found in the large blue Torah commentary books here in the sanctuary. Well, I should tell you first, it's Numbers chapter 6, beginning with verse 22. And it's found here in the sanctuary in the large blue Torah commentary books on page 1064, page 1064. And if you are watching us at home on live stream and you have a copy of the revised Torah commentary at home, then you can find this same section, Numbers chapter 6, verse 22, in the revised Torah commentary book on page 930. So that takes care of all of the explanations and the page numbers. Now, I just have to do this. And so to honor the Torah with the Aliyah, we call upon Carla Silver. Okay, Carla. Let me just get all organized here. Put your hand right here for me. And as a matter of practice, I should open this up to 1068.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Baruch Abonu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vaydaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor. Daber El Aharon Vel Banav Lemor. Kotivarchu et Bnei Yisrael Amor Lahem. Yivarechecha Adonai Ve'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai Panav Elecha Vichuneka. Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha V'yasem Lecha Shalom. V'samu et Shemi al Bnei Yisrael Va'ani Ahavarchem.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Notan Lanu Torat Emet. V'chayei Olam Natah B'Selkenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. This time our thoughts turn to those in need of healing. As we prepare to offer a Mishaberach for healing, which is found in the Siddur on page 371. If you are thinking of someone in need of healing and you are watching on live stream, I invite you to share the name of your loved one in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And here in the sanctuary, if you're thinking of someone in need of healing, I invite you to share the name of your loved one out loud or in your heart at this time. As a congregation, we think of our temple members and their loved ones in need of healing. We will see their names on your screen, either on live stream or in the corner of the sanctuary in just a moment. To those names, we add two who were just recently added to the Mishaberach list. We think of Judy Spitz and Calvin Young and offer our prayers for healing as we continue now on page 371 with the Mishaberach.
Avotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikol bracha lavortenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue now with, with the lifting and dressing of the Torah, which is found at the bottom of page 370. Please rise if you are able for Hagbah and Galila. Please be seated. The Haftarah for Parshat Naso is found here in the sanctuary on page 1256, page 1256, and in the Revised Torah Commentary that you may have at home on page 947. And this story is related to the story, well, not the story, but sort of the guidelines and the laws of the Nazarite that's found in Parshat Naso. In the Torah portion, it is a highly theoretical thing that someone might want to take on. In addition to all of the rules of the covenant, someone might want to take on additional obligations on themselves and not consume anything made of grapes and not be near a dead body and not cut their hair. And this person is called a Nazarite. And the Torah gives us a little bit of information about how they do it, no information about why they would want to do it, and a lot of information about the ritual when the period of this Nazarite dedication is over. And so we have this very legal, theoretical idea of the Nazarite in the Torah, and then that brings us to the Haftarah. Because at the Haftarah, we have a very practical application of the Nazarite, Samson. But before we meet Samson, we meet his parents. And as we meet his parents, we meet this divine being who announces that he will be born and who announces that he will have these obligations. Well, they're called Nazarite obligations, but they hardly match what's in the Torah. After all, it is not voluntary, it is not made with a vow, and it is not for a limited time. These are things that the divine being imposes on Samson before he's even born. His mother is to carry them out while he is in utero, and she makes no vow, she just obeys what was told to her. And so he is a Nazarite, but a Nazarite that doesn't quite meet the specifications that we're familiar with from the Torah portion. Nonetheless, it's a great story. It has an angel, it has fire, it has welcome, it has threats. It has everything. And so I've asked Brenda Weiss to read it in its entirety. Once again on page 1256 or at home on page 947.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for this Shabbat that you, Adonai, our God, have given us for holiness and rest, for honor and glory, we thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness. There was a certain man from Zara, of the stock of Dan, whose name was Manoah. His wife was barren and had borne no children. An angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, "You are barren and have borne no children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Now be careful not to drink wine or other intoxicant, or to eat anything unclean. For you are going to conceive and bear a son. Let no razor touch his head, for the boy is to be a Nazarite. To God from the womb on, he shall be the first to deliver Israel from the Philistines." The woman went and told her husband, "A man of God came to me. He looked like an angel of God, very frightening. I did not ask him where he was from, nor did he tell me his name. He said to me, 'You are going to conceive and bear a son. Drink no wine or other intoxicant, and eat nothing unclean, for the boy is to be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death.' Manoah pleaded with the Lord. 'Oh, my Lord,' he said, 'please let the man of God that you sent come to us again, and let him instruct us how to act with the child that is to be born.' God heeded Manoah's plea, and the angel of God came to the woman again. She was sitting in the field, and her husband Manoah was not with her. The woman ran in haste to tell her husband. She said to him, 'The man who came to me before has just appeared to me.' Manoah promptly followed his wife. He came to the man and asked him, 'Are you the man who spoke to my wife?' 'Yes,' he answered. Then Manoah said, 'May your word soon come true. What rules shall be observed for the boy?' The angel of the Lord said to Manoah, 'The woman must abstain from all the things against which I warned her. She must not eat anything that comes from the grapevine, or drink wine or other intoxicant, or eat anything unclean. She must observe all that I commanded her.' Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, 'Let us detain you and prepare a kid for you.' But the angel of the Lord said, 'Manoah, if you detain me, I shall not eat your food, and if you present a burnt offering, offer it to the Lord.' For Manoah did not know that he was an angel of the Lord. So Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, 'What is your name? We should like to honor you when your words come true.' The angel said to him, 'You must not ask for my name. It is unknowable.' Manoah took the kid and the meal offering and offered them up on the rock to the Lord. And a marvelous thing happened while Manoah and his wife looked on. As the flames leaped up from the altar toward the sky, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flames of the altar, while Manoah and his wife looked on, and they flung themselves on their faces to the ground. The angel of the Lord never appeared again to Manoah and his wife. Manoah then realized that had been an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to his wife, "We shall surely die, for we have seen a divine being." But his wife said to him, "Had the Lord meant to take our lives, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and meal offering from us, nor let us see all these things. And he will not have made such an announcement to us." The woman bore a son, and she named him Samson. The boy grew up, and the Lord blessed him. The Spirit of the Lord first moved him to the encampment of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. Oh, the wrong page is here.
372.
Oh.
Just right there.
Oh, okay. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship for the prophets, and for this Shabbat that you, Adonai our God, have given us for holiness and rest, for honor and glory. We thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness.
Amen.
Amen.
Please rise as we prepare to return the Torah to the ark. Let's go to the center of the room and face the congregation. Yehalalu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado.
Hodol eretz v'shamayim v'yorem keren le'amo tehillah lechol chasidav livnei Yisrael am kirova. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ki lekal tov natati lachem, Torati al tazavu. Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomcheha ma'ushar deracheha daichenom v'chol netivotei shalom, shalom, hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva, Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Please be seated. The Haftarah for Parashat Naso is primarily about the interaction between a divine being, whose name we never learn because he is too holy, and Manoach's wife, whose name we never learn because she is a woman. Nonetheless, Manoach tries to make it about him, He does not believe his wife when she says a man of God visited her, and he asks that he be summoned a second time so he can speak to the divine being himself. Here's where it gets interesting. The divine being does not provide Manoach any additional information that hadn't already been said to his wife. And yet Manoach still learns something new. When Manoach offers the divine being a meal, the divine being declines. There is something deeply Jewish about this scene. We are a people famous for our hospitality, going all the way back to Abraham and Sarah, when Abraham greeted 3 divine beings and asked Sarah to make food for them. Our most storied venue for hospitality is Shabbat dinner, where you never know who will end up there, what they will say, or how long they will stay. Part of the invitation to Shabbat dinner is the humility involved in it. When offering the invitation, you are asking someone to leave their comfort zone and eat food someone else has prepared. When accepting the invitation, you are implicitly saying that a meal in someone else's home is better than a meal in your own. Shabbat dinner is based on gratitude. We speak less in Judaism about all the invitations that are refused. We are, of course, familiar with the dynamic that someone is too kosher to eat in another person's home. This is an especially painful situation when it is children refusing to eat in their parents' home. In recent years, we have added a sense of our own importance to the act of eating together. This too has precedent in the Torah. In Genesis chapter 43, when Joseph invites his brothers to a meal, it says the Egyptians could not eat food with the Hebrews because it was an abomination to the Egyptians. For many years in societies all over the world, the separations of caste and class were enforced by taboos on eating together. Today we see as well that too many people are concerned that by eating with someone, they legitimize their point of view. Whether it is because they belong to a different political party or have a different perspective on a hot-button issue, it is now fashionable to self-righteously have nothing to do with such a person, especially not to share a meal with them. This standard may rightfully apply to world leaders because their actions are highly symbolic, but that doesn't mean that the average person must behave the same way. The social distancing we had to maintain in response to COVID only added to that, because for a time it literally put our lives at risk to eat with someone who had a different view about vaccines. As the narrative of the Haftarah unfolds, it turns out that the divine being does not refuse Manoach's offer of food for reasons of kashrut or for reasons of ideology or class, but for reasons of practicality. Simply stated, divine beings don't eat, so we shouldn't waste our time and our food trying to feed them. This truism perplexed the ancient rabbis when they read the story of Abraham welcoming the strangers. In that story, the Torah recounts that the beings do eat, but the rabbis reinterpret it to say that the beings appear to eat, so as not to make Abraham uncomfortable or to blow their own cover. Interestingly, before he leaves, the divine being instructs Manoach's wife not to drink wine or eat anything impure. In essence, he makes it harder for her to accept an invitation to someone else's house for a meal. Of course, there are still plenty of us who will happily accept a meal at someone else's house. We appreciate tasting someone else's cooking, and we trust that our dietary restrictions, whatever they are, will be respected. Often we exchange recipes or cooking tips around the meal, and later, when we often tell others what was served as a way of recounting the experience for them. I think this happens most often at Passover, when we are impressed, or sometimes not, by the creativity that goes into making something both Hasidic and delicious. But it also happens at Shavuot. Chefs strive to find innovative uses for dairy, though I think the 3 most popular ones remain blintzes, kugel, and cheesecake. Shavuot and Memorial Day mark the beginning of the outdoor eating season, when grills get fired up and the backyard furniture comes out from the shed to its rightful place on the patio. It is also an opportunity to offer the hospitality of a meal. It's true, there are people you won't want to invite and people who, for whatever reason, will say no. Nonetheless, this time of year, it's a little easier to build on the tradition of Abraham and Sarah and the impulse of Manoach. It is a chance to offer hospitality and to do a mitzvah too. Shabbat Shalom. Our service continues at this time with the Aleinu, which is found on page 586 at the bottom of the page. Please rise if you are able for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit g'dula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpchot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahan, v'gohor aleinu k'chol amonam, v'anachnu koreim, u'mishtachavim u'motim, lifnei melech malefei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
We remain standing at this time for a reading to introduce the mourner's Kaddish. Page 597. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This Shabbat, we remember those for whom we're in the Shloshim, 30-day period of mourning. Ira Ginsburg, father of Seth Ginsburg, and Andrew Peter Corvin. We remember as well those whose yard sites occurred this week. Adele Anasini, Thelma Ahrensberg, Eric Lynn Balzer, Barbara Blumberg Krumholtz, Irving Blumenfeld, Ethel Brody, Victor Claron, Fanny Tao Coven, Dion Danis, Mary Deutsch, Carola Filowitz, Joseph Gaumont, Margaret Haber, Raya Hamilton, Irving Judson, Ann Kirsch, Richard Norman Koffler, Marjorie Cohane, Evelyn Leibowitz, Harry Lipschitz, David Lupatin, Maurice Ellis Meyer, Pauline Nadler, Milton Peck, Tobias J. Price, Louis S. Rappaport, Goldie Salkin, Hyman Jack Schatzberg, Jenny Schwartz, Israel Siegel, Sharon Siegel, Lois Staffen, Carrie Stern, Annette Tolomeo, Bernard Wasserman, Richard Weiss, and Benzion Yalovitzer. We remember the names of 6 of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust: Shalom Bram of Poland, age 10, Renee Brandis of Belgium, age 12, Boria Brover of the Soviet Union, age 17, Musia Brover of the Soviet Union, age 15, Bazia Bronfeld of the Soviet Union, age 4, and Tatiana Bronfeld of the Soviet Union, age 1. And as we approach Memorial Day weekend, we remember those members of our armed forces who gave their lives in defense of our country, in defense of the freedoms we so cherish. We turn now to page 598. Please join with me in the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam u'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'rechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata tha'amiran be'elma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure this time to call upon Arnie Graber, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shabbat greetings and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Shabbat morning service. Next Friday, June 2nd, please join us for our monthly family Shabbat service, an annual evening honoring the year's high school graduates. Etz Chaim and Shir Chadash will sing for us. Save the date for our annual congregational meeting that will take place on Tuesday, June 6th at 7 p.m. in the social hall. On Friday night, June 9th, we'll gather to hear some special music in celebration of our 75th anniversary and enjoy a festive oneg to honor Rabbi Serbiu. We'll wish the rabbi a hearty mazel tov on the 25-year anniversary of his ordination and on recently receiving an honorary doctorate from Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. We will have a special oneg sponsored by Mimi Siegel, Judy and David Fox, and Debbie and Ken Rutz in loving memory of Rabbi Louis Siegel on his 18th yahrzeit and in honor of Rabbi Serbiu receiving his honorary doctorate. Then on Tuesday, June 13th at 7:30 p.m., Movies That Matter will present Walk on Water in the social hall. The film tells the story of a Mossad agent on a mission to track down an aging Nazi officer. Pretending to be a tourist guide, the agent befriends the Nazi officer's grandchildren in Israel. The relationship challenges the agent's values. Refreshments will be served. Finally, on Friday night, June 16th, we'll hold our annual Shabbat evening Pride service with guest speaker Deb Gustin of the Bergen County LGBTQ+ Advisory Committee, and Temple Emeth will also be singing. Thank you to this morning's volunteers in the live stream control room. Maya Zakin and Amanda Eastman are at the controls this morning. Shabbat Shalom.
I thought in honor of Memorial Day, it would be nice to have a song of America. So I asked the cantor, and she said, Rabbi's Choice.
So I'm seeing it for the first time now.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't look back to see what you chose.
I mean, there's
I'm
only,
like, oh, look,
only
I'm
so
singing
many options at the
America
back of
the
Mishkan
Beautiful.
Tefillah.
Acapella.
So I invite you to turn to page 681. It really doesn't get more to the back of the Siddur than 681 unless you want to read the index. And so, well, Cantor, I chose the song, but you can choose the verses.
I could maybe also choose the key. I'm going to just pray for the right key, because, okay, we'll see how it goes. No, why choose verses? I mean, how often do we get to sing it?
Then let's do the whole thing.
Let's do the whole thing.
Okay, even better.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose sternum passions stress, a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, control thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more themselves their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every grain divine. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond thy years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Please rise for the Kiddush. We join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim.
And we join together in the Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
We have reached the end of our service. If you're watching on live stream, it's your last chance to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And here in the sanctuary, we conclude our service by turning to one another and saying, Shabbat Shalom.